Have you ever walked into a room and felt that something was off? Not because of who else was there, but because of the way you were carrying yourself? I'm sure many of us have felt that sting of being overlooked or dismissed, even when we have decades of experience and wisdom behind us. It's a feeling that cuts deep, especially when you've always prided yourself on earning respect through hard work, honesty, and integrity. Today, I want to share some insights on habits many seniors unknowingly adopt that might be pushing people away and costing them the respect they deserve. And don't worry, we're not here to criticize but to offer practical, actionable tips so that you can continue to be the confident, influential person you are. One of the habits that often goes unnoticed is the tendency to dwell on problems and complaints. It's natural to have frustrations. After all, life isn't always easy, and we all experience ups and downs. But when complaining becomes a regular part of your conversation, it can start to create a negative atmosphere. Imagine spending time with someone who constantly talks about what's going wrong, their aching joints, the way the world has changed for the worse, or how nothing ever seems to work out. Over time, even well-intentioned friends and family may begin to tune out or avoid these interactions, not because they don't care, but because they feel overwhelmed by the constant focus on the negative. Instead of venting repeatedly about every minor inconvenience, try shifting your focus to sharing solutions or positive moments, no matter how small. This change in tone not only uplifts your own spirits but also invites others to engage with you in a more constructive way, reinforcing the respect you've earned over the years. Another habit that can inadvertently erode respect is a reluctance to embrace change, especially when it comes to learning new things or adapting to modern ways of doing things. I understand that with all the technological advances and cultural shifts, it can feel like the world is moving at a pace that's hard to keep up with. But consider this: staying open to learning, even if it means mastering a new smartphone or exploring a new hobby, shows that you're adaptable, curious, and willing to grow. When you resist change, it sends a subtle message that you're stuck in the past, which can sometimes lead others to underestimate your abilities or insights. On the flip side, when you embrace new experiences and tools, you not only expand your own horizons but also demonstrate that age is just a number. This willingness to adapt builds a bridge between generations and can inspire respect from younger people who see your vitality and openness. A third behavior that often goes unnoticed is the tendency to appear overly self-deprecating. It might come from a place of humility or even a habit of modesty, but constantly putting yourself down or dismissing your own achievements can have the opposite effect of what you intend. When you say things like, "Oh, I'm too old to really make a difference," or "I'm not as sharp as I used to be," you might unintentionally give others permission to view you in a lesser light. Instead, try to speak about your experiences with pride and confidence. Share the lessons you've learned and the successes you've achieved, no matter how small they might seem to you. Your life story is filled with triumphs that deserve to be celebrated. By acknowledging your own worth, you invite others to do the same, and that mutual respect is a cornerstone of meaningful relationships. It's not that we need to become someone entirely different overnight. These habits have developed over years, often as simple, almost unconscious responses to life's challenges. The beauty of making small changes is that they don't require a complete overhaul of who you are. They simply involve taking a moment to reflect on how you interact with the world and making a conscious decision to steer that interaction in a more positive, respectful direction. And the impact of those changes can be profound, bringing renewed energy, deepened connections, and, ultimately, a stronger sense of self-respect that others will naturally mirror back to you. As you listen to these thoughts, I invite you to reflect on your own daily habits. Think about the times you may have vented more than you celebrated, or when you might have dismissed your own valuable opinions. Recognizing these moments is the first step toward change, and change, even in small ways, can pave the path to a more fulfilling and respected life. Let's continue this conversation and explore more ways to cultivate lasting respect in every interaction we have. Continuing our conversation, I want to explore two more habits that can unintentionally erode the respect others have for us. One of these habits is being overly defensive and refusing to admit mistakes, and the other is clinging too tightly to outdated views that no longer resonate with today's world. Now, I know it can be difficult to acknowledge when we're not perfect. None of us are, but holding on to pride and stubbornness can create an invisible barrier between you and those who care about you. When you're constantly on the defensive, ready to shift blame or justify every misstep, it not only blocks growth but also makes it hard for others to trust in your honesty. Think about a time when you may have gotten into a disagreement and found yourself defending your point so fiercely that you shut down the conversation entirely. Chances are, those around you felt unheard or dismissed. In contrast, when you're open about your mistakes, even small ones, and show that you're willing to learn, it creates an environment of mutual respect and understanding. It's a subtle shift from saying, "I'm never wrong," to admitting, "I made an error, and here's how I can do better next time." This willingness to embrace vulnerability and change is a powerful way to command respect, proving that true strength often lies in humility. Now, let's talk about another behavior that can harm how people perceive you: the tendency to hold on to outdated views. As the world evolves, so do the ways we think and interact. However, it's not uncommon to see some of us sticking with ideas and attitudes from decades past, often without realizing that these outdated perspectives can alienate younger generations and even peers who are looking for fresh approaches. You might have fond memories of how things were done in the good old days, and while nostalgia has its charm, it's important to balance that with an openness to new ways of thinking. When conversations are dominated by comments like, "That's just the way it used to be," or "Kids these days don't know how to do things right," it can create a rift that prevents meaningful connection. Instead of shutting out the modern world, try engaging with it. Listen to the stories of those who are bringing new ideas into the mix and share your own experiences as part of a broader, ever-changing tapestry of life. When you blend your wisdom with a genuine curiosity about today's trends, you create a bridge between generations that enriches everyone's experience. At this point, I want you to consider how these habits, defensiveness and clinging to the past, can subtly affect the way others view you. When you're defensive, it can come off as if you're more interested in protecting your ego than in fostering real relationships. And when you hold on to outdated ideas, it may seem like you're not willing to evolve, even though your life experience has so much to offer. It's not about discarding all the values you've held dear. It's about reinterpreting them in a way that's relevant to the present. For example, instead of saying, "I did it this way because that's how it's always been done," you might say, "I learned this method long ago and I see the value in it. I'm also open to learning new techniques that might work even better today." Such a balanced perspective not only honors your past but also shows that you're adaptable, a quality that naturally draws respect. It's amazing how making small adjustments in our behavior can have a profound impact on our relationships and how others perceive us. I've seen firsthand how letting go of the need to be right all the time and allowing yourself to be vulnerable can transform a conversation. It's as if the walls we build around ourselves start to crumble, leaving space for genuine connection and admiration. It might feel uncomfortable at first to step away from a familiar pattern of defending yourself or dismissing new ideas, but every step you take towards openness and humility is a step towards a richer, more respectful interaction with the world around you. As you reflect on these thoughts, consider the moments when you might have been too quick to defend your point of view or too eager to dismiss something simply because it's new. Recognizing these habits is the first part of the journey towards change. Embrace the idea that admitting a mistake or updating an old belief isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength and a willingness to grow. This mindset not only improves your relationships but also reinforces the respect you deserve. By being open to self-improvement and the evolving world around you, you create an atmosphere of trust and mutual admiration that enriches every aspect of your life. Let's continue to build on these ideas, knowing that every small adjustment you make can lead to a more fulfilling, respectful, and connected life. As we come to a close on our discussion today, I invite you to reflect on the power of small changes and the incredible impact they can have on your relationships and overall well-being. Think of every conversation as an opportunity to reinforce your true worth and share the wisdom that only comes from a life well lived. When you embrace the idea of growth, letting go of old habits, admitting mistakes, and welcoming new perspectives, you open yourself up to a deeper connection with others. It's about giving yourself permission to be both strong and humble, to be a learner even after years of experience, and to understand that every day is a new chance to present your best self. Imagine walking into a room with the quiet confidence of knowing that you are respected not just for what you have achieved in life, but for who you are in this moment. Every smile, every thoughtful word, every gentle correction of a negative habit builds that image of a person who is aware, adaptable, and engaged with the world around them. It's not always easy to change the way we communicate or to admit that we sometimes get it wrong, but by doing so, you signal that you are open to improvement and that you value the connections you have with those around you. This openness fosters an environment where mutual respect grows naturally, transforming even challenging interactions into opportunities for understanding and support. There's a remarkable strength in acknowledging our vulnerabilities. When you allow yourself to be imperfect, you invite others to see the real, relatable person behind the facade. In doing so, you create space for compassion and empathy, both for yourself and for those you interact with. Instead of clinging to outdated views or stubbornly defending your position at all costs, consider the power of a soft approach, a willingness to listen, to understand, and to adjust your stance when necessary. This doesn't diminish the experiences and values you hold dear. Rather, it enriches them by incorporating new ideas and perspectives, making your voice even more influential and respected. Now, take a moment to envision how your day-to-day interactions might change if you commit to these small adjustments. Picture a scenario where, instead of letting frustration take over, you pause, take a breath, and choose to express your concerns with kindness and clarity. Imagine how much more satisfying it can be to share your insights when you're not weighed down by negativity or the burden of outdated habits. Over time, these seemingly minor shifts accumulate, transforming your relationships and boosting the respect you receive from friends, family, and even strangers. You become a beacon of wisdom and adaptability, someone whose life experiences are honored and whose willingness to grow is admired. It's also important to remember that these changes are a journey, one that doesn't require overnight perfection but rewards persistent effort. Even if you stumble or fall back into old patterns occasionally, what matters most is your commitment to try again. Each moment of reflection, each time you choose to speak with positivity rather than criticism, is a step toward a richer, more fulfilling life. As you continue to evolve, you'll notice that not only do you gain more respect from those around you, but you also feel a renewed sense of self-respect and satisfaction. There's something profoundly empowering about knowing that you have the ability to shape your interactions and, by extension, your world. I encourage you to keep this conversation in mind as you go about your day. Look for opportunities to practice these small, respectful behaviors, whether it's during a family dinner, a conversation with a neighbor, or even a casual chat at the local store. Each interaction is a chance to reinforce the positive habits we've talked about. Your life is a testament to resilience, wisdom, and continual growth. By choosing to let go of habits that diminish your presence and by embracing those that enhance your connection with others, you pave the way for deeper, more genuine relationships. If these ideas resonate with you, I hope you feel motivated to implement them in your daily life. Your journey towards greater respect and personal fulfillment is a powerful story in itself, one that can inspire others to also seek change and connection. Remember, every step you take towards being more open, positive, and adaptable enriches not only your life but also the lives of those you touch. Thank you for sharing this time with me today. Keep striving, keep connecting, and most importantly, keep believing in the strength of your own journey. As we wrap up our conversation today, I want to leave you with a heartfelt reminder that the journey toward gaining and maintaining respect is an ongoing, personal adventure. Every day presents a new opportunity to refine the habits that shape how the world sees you and, more importantly, how you see yourself. Respect isn't just something you earn from others. It's a reflection of the love, care, and attention you give to your own life. Over the years, you've built a lifetime of experience and wisdom, and by making a few thoughtful adjustments, you can ensure that this wealth of knowledge is met with the admiration and respect it truly deserves. Imagine walking into your favorite room, engaging in conversation with friends or family, and feeling a quiet confidence that radiates from within. That confidence comes not from perfection but from the willingness to be open, adaptable, and genuine. It's about showing the world that, despite any setbacks or moments of self-doubt, you remain a dynamic, evolving individual. The small changes we talked about today, shifting from a pattern of constant complaint to one of constructive dialogue, embracing new ideas while honoring your past, and speaking of your achievements with pride rather than self-deprecation, each serve as stepping stones on your path to a more fulfilling, respected life. There's a profound beauty in knowing that every day, with every conversation, every smile, and every small act of kindness, you're actively building a legacy of respect and dignity. It isn't about erasing who you are or pretending to be someone else. It's about embracing the full spectrum of your experience and using that as a foundation to connect more deeply with the people around you. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, to admit mistakes, and to share both your triumphs and your lessons learned, you invite others into your world in a way that fosters genuine connection. And it is through these connections that true respect is born. I encourage you to take a moment, perhaps later today, to reflect on a recent interaction where you might have defaulted to complaining or dismissed a new idea without a second thought. Think about how you might approach that situation differently. What if you had shared a positive thought or listened with an open heart? These are not drastic changes, but rather gentle nudges that, over time, can reshape your relationships and transform your presence in the eyes of others. Every interaction is an opportunity to reinforce your self-worth and to remind those around you of the depth and richness of your experience. As you continue on this path, remember that the goal isn't to become flawless. There will be days when old habits resurface, moments when it feels easier to retreat into what's familiar rather than to embrace the new. And that's perfectly okay. Growth is a series of small, sometimes uneven steps, not a dramatic leap. Each time you choose to be more mindful, Each time you decide to speak with kindness instead of criticism, you're making progress. It's this commitment to self-improvement that will ultimately elevate not just how others see you, but how you see yourself. I invite you to share your thoughts, your struggles, and your victories on this journey. If you have a moment today where you practice one of these new habits, be it offering a word of encouragement to a friend, trying out a new way of expressing yourself, or simply pausing to appreciate your own resilience, know that you're contributing to a larger movement of aging with dignity and respect. Your story, with all its twists and turns, has the power to inspire others. By speaking openly about the challenges and triumphs of maintaining respect in our later years, you help create a community where everyone feels valued and heard. As our conversation draws to a close, take pride in the steps you've taken so far. Look in the mirror and recognize the strength in your eyes, the wisdom in your smile, and the grace in every gesture. Life is a continuous journey of learning and evolving, and the respect you earn is a reflection of the care you invest in both yourself and those around you. Keep embracing change, keep challenging yourself, and never underestimate the impact of a positive word or a gentle smile. Thank you for spending this time with me, sharing in the idea that every day is a chance to refine who we are and how we connect with the world. Stay strong, remain open to growth, and remember that true respect is not just given. It's cultivated, nurtured, and earned through every small, thoughtful action you take. Here's to a future filled with genuine connections, renewed self-worth, and a life that continues to shine brightly with the respect you so richly deserve.